Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Snorlax from the new Lost Origin sets and how we can make it the focus of this deck list. So let's hop onto that deck list and I'll show you what I am working with. Alrighty, so here is the deck list. Now let's take a look at Snorlax, the main attacker of this deck list. So it is from the new Lost Origin sets and it has the attack Thumping Snore for 3 colorless energy. You hit for 180, but then this Pokemon goes to sleep and you have to flip 2 coins in order for you to wake up. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. So you can hit for a lot of damage, but you fall asleep. Now there is a card from the set that synergizes really well with this ability, and that is the Windup Arm. I think a lot of people saw this and thought it was meant for Hisuian Electrode, which came out from the sets, which is also a great pairing, but this actually also works really well with the Snorlax. Now, I don't play a lot of them just because most of the time your Snorlax is going to go into the active and it's going to get KO'd by whatever Pokemon your opponent brings up. So you don't necessarily always need the Windup Arm, but it can come in clutch if you want to constantly attack with the Snorlax and hit for 180 over and over again. Now, the pairing that I have with the Snorlax is the Miltank. Just because the Snorlax does get knocked out a lot, you do need a backup attacker to kind of soften up those V Pokemon so that when you do come in with the Snorlax, you could potentially knock it out with that 180. I think the Miltank is really important in this deck. It's not just a tanky stall Pokemon in this deck. It's actually a viable attacker because it softens up your opponent's Pokemon, and then the Snorlax can come in and kind of, clean house. So one of the synergies that I really like about this deck is the fact that because Miltank is a basic and it requires colorless energy, I play one Thorton. Thorton is really cool because sometimes you can put a Miltank in the active, your opponent can't really respond with it, and then once you have put enough damage with the Miltank, you use Thorton, go into the Snorlax, and then just take a knockout. So it's really fun. It is a balls to the wall kind of strategy and I really enjoy it. Now the way that we power up these attackers are with the Cherrim, put the grass energy on, and we also play the twin energy so that we can get a Snorlax powered up pretty much in one turn if we wanted to. We also play the Bibarel engine to kind of draw through our decks. And other things to note is we do play Klara. Klara is really great because then it gets us our Snorlaxes back and allows us to get our grass energy so that we can just power them up really quickly. I do play one Choice Belt. I was kind of toying around with not playing a Choice Belt, but I think Choice Belt kind of fixes the math in some scenarios because a lot of decks, as you will see, play the Empoleon. So doing 180 is not enough to knock out Empoleon, and because Empoleon counters Miltank, Miltank can't really sit in the active, so you do need that Choice Belt in order to hit that 210 number to knock out some V Pokemons, especially that Empoleon. Another thing that I forgot to note is that Snorlax also has the Unfazed Fat ability. It basically reads that all effects from your opponent's attacks don't affect this Pokemon. So things like damage counter placements like the Sableye don't affect this Pokemon. Things like Star Requiem from Giratina don't one-hit KO the Snorlax, but it still can be damaged by attacks, so that's something to note. Aside from that, the deck is pretty much straightforward. You're just trying to loop Snorlaxes and try and attack, and if you can't get a Snorlax set up, then you go in with a Miltank to try and stall for maybe a turn or two, and then just come in with a Snorlax. Now, this deck isn't perfect. I kind of just threw it together just to see if it worked, and it actually is pretty viable, but let me know how you guys would kind of fix it up, what kind of counts you would play to make it a little bit more consistent. So let's hop onto the ladder, and I'll show you some of the matches that I got with this Snorlax deck. Empoleon once again, but we can do this. Attach the energy. I could quick ball here. Get rid of a quick ball at least. And then grab myself another Bidoof. And then that way next turn I can Ultra Ball top deck and energy. And then if they somehow boss up a Bidoof, we won't get royally screwed. Now they're playing the Empoleon. Empoleon is now like splashable in really any deck. So they could be playing this. Well, they have water energy, so it looks like it might be Kyurem. I don't want to lose the Miltank, but I kind of have to. I'll go this, grab myself the Bibarel, because if I can get Twin Energy and Choice Belt, we take a knockout. So none of that, but I will go research, try and find a Twin Energy and Choice Belt. Nope. None of that either, but what we can do here is I can actually go Ultra Ball, get rid of the Quick Ball and the Level Ball. Grab myself another Bibarel. It's prize. Another Bibarel's prize. Why? Miltank doesn't help us out. I guess I'll grab another Cherubi. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this. Oh, I definitely should have grabbed, or definitely should have gotten rid of the Level Ball, because then I could have quick balled for the Snorlax and then just had that on the field. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. They put the Wash energy, but unless they have like Melanie, they don't attack. They boss and pass. Okay, we have a Miltank. It's not going to be helpful, but I guess I will still bench it. Just in case if they do play anything aside from the Empoleon. So let's put this in play. Let's go. Do I Pal Pad here? I actually want to go Industry Sizes first, because if I can get some sort of switch. I have the Twin Energy now. I guess I can Klara. Klara can get me just 1 energy. And then I could hit it for 210, but that's not really enough now, is it? So I'll pass, let them knock out the Bidoof, and then I can just go in and knock it out. Okay. There's a research. What was their hand? It was literally all energy. Because even if they knock me out, right? Even if they boss KO, well, they can't boss KO now, but if they do like cross switcher KO on the Snorlax, I can still Klara and power it up. Because I have this Twin Energy here. But now they're set up, which is kind of annoying. I was hoping to grab that Choice Belt. Would have been really nice here. There is a Greninja now, so I do need to be wary of that. They do have 3 water energies in the discard, 4 now, so they could power up the Greninja and do a snipe on my Cherrims. So I need to be careful for that. I probably do need to bench this Manaphy after this Bidoof gets knocked out. Oh, okay. Play a Rangaroo, so this is telling me this is probably Kyurem with Palkia. Yep, there's a Rotom Foaming as well. So most likely that is the case. Okay. So they can't boss, so we lose the Bidoof, but that's fine. All we need to do is we'll bench the Manaphy. If I can grab a Grass Energy with the Bibarel, that would be great. I don't want to use Klara here to get this energy. Now, who do they send the energy to? Probably the Palkia, right? Palkia? No, the Greninja. So they are intending to use that, but we have the Manaphy in hand, so we should be okay. Another Twin Energy. Not a fan favorite. Let's do this. Level Ball. Burn it. I don't want to attach the Twin just yet. Although I can attach the Twin. Either way, I can still use Klara to get me an energy. So let's just do this. I'll attach the Twin here. Go Bibarel. Maybe grab a Grass Energy. No Grass Energy. So we have to use Klara here. We'll do both. We'll get the Miltank Bidoof back in our hand. And then we can just get that 1 Grass Energy. And then we'll Spring Bloom to the active. And then is there a need to do anything else? I could Pal Pad the Klara's back. That could be useful. Let's do Quick Ball, get rid of the Bouffalant. I don't think Bouffalant's gonna be really helpful here. Just to have the Snorlax. No, we're just gonna do Dumping Snore. Now they can retreat into their Palkia. And we do wake up, which is actually kind of cool. So even if the Empoleon does attack me, they're not gonna knock me out, and we can knock it out. So they have to evolve into the Palkia V-Star and use the V-Star ability to power up the Palkia in order to not get KO'd here. In which case all we do is just come up with a Miltank and then stall for a turn. If I could even boss up the Empoleon and knock it out with the Miltank. That would be pretty cool, I would say. I would like that a lot. So let's see if we can manage that. They could come up and try and boss the Manaphy, which could kind of suck, but then we would need to Pal Pad the Klaras back in order to get the Manaphy. Let's see what they do. They don't have a Kyurem in play yet, which is pretty nice. There's another Palkia, and they are retreating. Okay. So they will attack with the Palkia, hit me for 240, and then all we have to do is just come up with a Miltank and then stall for a turn or so. We will be able to hit the Miltank decently, and we actually can get another Snorlax powered up, which is pretty cool. So we can do this Spring Bloom onto the Snorlax. Let's go Industrious Incisors. We can grab, we have an arm and we have research. Do I research here? What do I need? That's the question. I don't think I necessarily need anything crazy. Boss would be cool, but I wouldn't be able to get that anyway. So let's just go ahead and do route here. Just kind of set up the damage. We hit this for 2, it has 190 left. We hit it for 90, so it's not enough with the Snorlax, so we do need to get the Choice Belt. Now they can, I think they play Cross Switcher, right? No, I think they play Boss. I mean, they could play Boss and Cross Switchers. No, they just go with Boss, take out the Snorlax, which is fine. What we'll do then is, I guess, just keep swinging with the Miltank until we can take a knockout with the Snorlax. We have a Grass Energy. I could Klara, or do the Pal Pad to get the Klaras back into the deck. I think I will do that. Let's do this first. We are gonna lose the Windup Arm, but I'm kind of interested. I kind of want to do this, because if we can get Thorton in play, I could Thorton this Miltank into a Snorlax with the Windup Arm and then attack with that. So let's try that first. I'll go research here. I mean, we can power up the Miltank, so let's just go ahead and do that. And then I think I'll hold the hand and then just go with another route for 90. And then maybe we'll see our Thorton. We have 9 cards left in deck. Oh! I forgot the Pal Pad. No, I forgot the Pal Pad. I should have Pal Pad the Klaras back in the deck. I guess we're just running off of these Miltanks, really. How many bosses do they have left? They played 2. They probably play 1 more, maybe a Pal Pad. Ooh, that was bad. I should have Pal Padded. I completely forgot to Pal Pad. They'll knock me out with this Empoleon. That does suck. That was a decent misplay, but we might still be able to pull it back. They had to Melanie in order to attack with the Empoleon, which is fair. How much this has? This has 100. If they bench one more thing, I can knock out this Palkia with the Miltank. But all I need to do really is just knock out this Empoleon, and then we should be okay. They do bench the Kyurem, so that is another attacker that they can go with. But looking like our prizes are going to be Empoleon, Palkia, and maybe another Palkia. We'll see. I can go capture energy here. I might have another Snorlax in the deck. Let's try it. Go capture energy. I do. So I can do this. Go Training Court to get an energy. Put that onto the Snorlax. I don't want to Marnie and I don't want to research, so I will burn this. Let's go Sizers here. That's not bad. And we just go Route, knock out Empoleon, and then see what we can grab off of our prizes. Research, not great. Choice Belt can be okay. Choice Belt means I can knock out another Empoleon if they do put it into play. Okay, so there is a Nessa for potentially another Empoleon. But can they get it powered up? That's the question. Okay, they just go conceal cards. I don't know if they're gonna try and power up the Greninja to attack the Miltank, or they just try and bench, why can't I am having a hard time speaking tonight, but attaching to the Empoleon and then just kind of waiting it out. Because knocking out this Empoleon would be really great. And then if they do knock me out, I haven't seen my Thorton yet, so it's either in the deck or in my prizes. Although, to be fair, I can't attack with the Snorlax just yet, because I do need a Twin Energy. I'm down 2 here. 1 could be prized. Let's see what's in our deck, because I can Ultra Ball, check to see what's in our deck. They do play the Kyurem VMAX, but they attach the Empoleon, which means this Greninja is going to be stuck in the active, and then they just pass. Let's do this. Get rid of these guys and see what's in my deck. I do have 1 Twin Energy left. I have 5 cards, so I will see the Twin Energy and the Switch, which can be really good. And I do have another Pal Pad. Okay, so that's really good. I can Pal Pad the Klara's back. Alright. So let's do this. I can go attach... Oh, but I can't boss this turn, can I? If I boss this turn, I knock out the Palkia. And then next turn, I can go in with the Empoleon. I think that's fair. That's better. I'll still, because I hit for 110, right? Yeah, I'll still put this here. I can go, well, let's boss first, because then I can go in Sizers after. So let's boss up the Palkia. Do I want incisors? I don't think so. I'm okay. I will attach this energy here. And then let's go Route, knock out the Palkia, and then take 2 prizes there. They still need to try and run through 2 Pokemon. Now the Empoleon can still attack? I'm trying to think. Melanie. They can attack with Melanie. So they would need to do Melanie, attachment, attack, knockout, and then I just come in, Choice Belt, knock the Empoleon out. They could... If they have Canceling Cologne, then they might win? I don't think so. Because Greninja can't... No, if they have Cancel and Cologne, then they can knock out the Cherums and win. But let's see if they play that. If they play the Cologne, they play the Cologne. If not, then I can knock out the Empoleon with my boss. Now, if they do Marnie me, there is a Marnie in deck. No. What am I saying? If they Marnie me, I have only 5 cards left. So potentially I can shuffle and whittle my deck down so I have a higher chance of getting boss. But if they don't knock me out this next turn, I think I win. Because then I just retreat, attach, and attack. As long as I keep this boss somehow, I should be okay. But if they Roxanne me, I mean, even with Roxanne, right, we have Bibarel, so we should be okay. They're going in with another Palkia, but the Palkia V-Star ability is gone, so it doesn't really do anything. I guess it's just there for assurance. I do think the Miltank is crucial to this deck. I think it's really nice to have these two, as like Thorton options, because a lot of the times your Snorlaxes are just going to constantly get knocked out over and over again. So you need something in the active in order for your opponent to not just, you know, constantly hit your Pokemon as you're setting up. And then the Miltank also weakens your opponent's Pokemon. Like as you saw there, the Palkia, like even though we didn't attack with the Snorlax, the Miltank did whittle the Palkia down enough so that if I wanted to, I could attack with the Snorlax. It's just really good against Vs, and because Vs are so popular, the Miltank is kind of needed. Against single prizer decks, this deck can suffer. I've noticed, like Reggie's, it's kind of hard. But as long as you can consistently get Snorlax in play, that's really the goal. They do play the Frostmoth build, which is actually cool. I enjoy that a lot. Okay, they're to go Rope. I'm trying to think, nothing KOs me, I don't think. And even if it does, I have Thornton, so I'm okay. Well, although, if they get rid of my Choice Belt, that's the only problem. I don't think they can get rid of Choice Belt. But if they Rope me here, this Empoleon can attach and attack. And I can also, I guess I'll give him the Manaphy because it has the 1 retreat cost. And I can go Court, attach, retreat, attack, but I do still need another energy. There you go, ask and you shall receive. We got the Training Court, we'll get another energy. Now we can Spring Bloom onto the Manaphy, and Spring Bloom onto the Snorlax, and then we will retreat. Actually, yeah, we'll just retreat, that's fine. I was saying we do have Switch in the deck, but we don't need it. We can just go boss up the Empoleon and then go Thumping Snore for our final 2 prizes. This is a really close matchup, but I have found that this deck does favor against the Kyurem Palkia just because that Empoleon. They usually do, the Miltank does bait the Empoleon out, which then is really easy for the Snorlax to KO, and you just kind of rinse and repeat with those, and the Palkia can't really handle the Miltank once the Empoleon's out of play. They lead off with Arceus and a Lightning Energy. So what could we be going up against? There's a Mareep, so they are playing the Flaffy engine. We have Cherrim in hand, so what I'll do is I'll Quick Ball away the grass. Grab myself a... do I go Miltank here? I think I can go Miltank here first, and then go in with the Snorlax after I kind of get my board set up. So I'll do this, grab myself the Cherubi, and then I can Level Ball to grab myself another Bidoof. And then, well, hold on. How do I draw next turn? Yeah, because then I can try and Quick Ball away. do this first. We have both the barrels. I think this is fine. Just in case if they knock out the Bidoof in the active, we'll have a Bidoof on the bench. And then I can just go Cherrim, Training Court, attached to the Miltank, and then kind of stall that way. I maybe could have gotten the Gourmandize with the Snorlax, but I don't want to lose out on prizes here. I kind of want to attack with the Miltank. Now they are going with the Vikavolt, so they're going to prevent us from using items, and that's the game. That's pretty much their game. I could boss up the Vikavolt. I could boss up their Mareep. They are playing the 2 energy cost for Mareep. So let's do this. Go Training Court. Get that energy. This way I can Quick Ball the energy away. I guess we just grab this just in case. That way we have at least a draw. Maybe we can get a switch out next turn, and then we'll just go boss up their Mareep. We have no cards in our hand, but hopefully this can buy us a turn. Hopefully our top deck is phenomenal. That would be the best. But they just have a switch. So they just switch, that's fine. They're gonna boss, knock out the Snorlax, and just go for a Power Edge. Great, all right. So they had switch and boss in hand. They didn't have the V-Star, but they pretty much had everything they needed. We got a Snorlax, but not the one that we need. So let's not promote that just yet. We'll just go here and go with the route, hit this for 50. Now, they can item lock us, which can be pretty bad because it locks us from things like gear, from Ultra Balls, Level Balls, Quick Balls, things like that. They have more bosses? Jeez, stop. My goodness. Okay, they're just gonna keep bossing. All right, we got research. So we finally can draw out of this hand. Let's use up our items just in case if that Vikavolt comes into play. We will need to deal with it. I would like to potentially, if I get Thorton doesn't really help me. I could Klara. Klara could be good. That gets me my Cherrims back. Let's do that. I can attach this here. Let's go Industries Incisor, see what we can grab. We get Marnie. I don't want to bench the Bidoof down. Let's just go with the route. Hit it for 70. And then see what they do here. If they have a third boss, I will be livid. They don't have any energies in the discard. And they have Crobat. Okay. The Crobat, they could still use boss if they have 3 bosses. And I'm assuming with the Vikavolt deck, they probably do play maybe 3, maybe 2 with the Pal Pad. So they could Pal Pad those bosses back into play. Okay. But this guy can't really attack me, can keep me from playing items, but can't really do anything else aside from that. 3 boss! They played 3 boss back to back to back. Alright, we just deal with it. We'll deal with it. They're gonna do that, and they're going to Vikavolt me. This is fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. If I can just get a Twin Energy and Choice Belt. I can play Choice Belt, right? Choice Belt counts as a tool, not an item, so maybe. Hopefully I can play Choice Belt. If I can play Choice Belt, I knock out the Vikavolt, which would be great. If I can't play Choice Belt, that would not be great. But I do Paralyzing Bolt. We have 2 Marnies. Well, we'll lose the Klara, because I do need to research here. I can't just get energies, which we don't even have, so I have to go research here. We got the twin energy, so we can't attack, but we don't have the choice belt. So this is still fine. We put damage on the board that my Miltank can use. I'll just go Thumping Snore. Hit it for 180. They could knock us out. We wake up, which is quite rad. I don't hate that. That means we do knock out this Vikavolt. We can even knock out the Arceus if it does come into play. They have Stormy Mountain. Don't know if that's too relevant, but that does mean we do lose both of our quartz, which kind of sucks. It's not too relevant right now, but it could be relevant later down the line, especially since we did lose a Klara and we don't have a Cherrim in play. They just go Paralyzing Bolt again, which is fine. I can't use anything, but I could go Klara here and just set up the Cherrim, right? I think that's best. Although to be fair, I kind of want to do that next turn when I can actually get the Snorlax back too. Let's do this, just see what's in my deck. I do have a Miltank, a Level Ball, Quick Ball, 2 Ultras, 1 Switch would have been nice. Choice Belt's still there, and 1 more Twin. Thorton could also be pretty good too. I don't want a Marnie here, so I think I'm just gonna go Thumping Snore, knock out the Vikavolt, take 2 prizes, and then just let them take this prize. And then if I can grab anything of use, maybe just Klara and try and build up a Snorlax later. Now the Arceus only has 1 energy. Okay, there's a DTE, never mind. They do play the DTE, so they are going to be able to knock out the Snorlax, but they've played 3 boss. So unless they play 4 boss or Pal Pad, I think we are fine. They're actually starting to power up these Flaffies so they can knock out my Miltanks, which is cute. They're gonna Marnie, so we do lose out on the Klara, which kind of sucks, but maybe that gets us closer to another Cherrim line. We do get the Level Ball, which we can use now because we're out of item lock. And they just go Trinity Nova. Okay. Maybe if I can get Thorton, I could Thorton here and knock out the V-Star. I kind of want to see if I can make that work. So let's go Level Ball here, grab ourselves a Cherubi. I can go Quick Ball away the Manaphy. I don't think I'm gonna need it. Let's grab ourselves a Snorlax. Let's go Bibarel first. Maybe we can grab a Thorton off of this. Not quite. Here's the thing, I need to attach the energy to the active in order to Thorton. If I attach the energy here, then I can't really get it to work. So I don't want to preemptively attach thinking I can knock it out. You know what? YOLO, let's see if we can get it to work. Oh shoot, we got it to work. All right, let's go. This game just got hype. All right, so we're gonna Thornton this Miltank. We're not gonna touch the arm. We'll just go Thumping Snore and knock out the Arceus V-Star. All right, and they just have these Flaffies in order to attack. I just use my Windup Arm. I'll knock out the Crobat at some point, and that's it. That's game. We just need to get boss now, so I need to try and fish for boss here. Get double tails, but that's fine. I can go Ultra Ball here, grab the Cherrim. Try and use... Oh, there's a Raikou out. Now, to be fair, I can't use Choice Belt and the Windup Arm, so I do need to hit 2 heads in order for this to work. But they can attack me with the Raikou, which means they will knock out the Snorlax in the active. I could still also go in with the Miltank, that's also an option. But if they knock out the Snorlax, that's fine. All I really need is Choice Belt, and I can knock out the Raikou. Raikou? I always called it Raikou. But then after, what was it, the most recent movie, I think, or the most recent game, maybe it was Legends Arceus. I don't remember when, but for some reason, this name changed. That's Raikou. Okay, well they're gonna use Rope, which is pretty nice. I can put the Miltank in play. They could come in with Flaffy if they wanted to, and hit me for 50. That's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can just retreat. Let's go Level Ball here. Grab myself the Cherrim. I can attach this here. Now, what am I aiming for? I'm aiming for boss, right? So I could Ultra Ball this. Yeah, let's Ultra Ball. Get rid of these guys, because if I just have boss, I win. There is no boss. I have Pal Pads though. Maybe I can grab Pal Pad. Because both my bosses are gone? I prized one. Okay, so one of my prizes is boss, so I need to get Pal Pad here. There is a Pal Pad. I can Pal Pad just boss. We can go Spring Bloom, and they just concede. They knew that it was coming. All we needed was a boss, and then all we could do is just retreat, and then we would have gotten the knockout. Alrighty, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this deck list. Now, I personally really like Snorlax. You probably have seen it as like a one of in these Lost Zone decks, but I kind of want to give it more of a spotlight and see if I can make a deck around it, especially since we have that Windup Arm. I wanted to see if that synergy worked. Its deck's not perfect. I did try a bunch of different versions of it. I did try with like Bouffalant to see if I could, you know, Thorton into Bouffalant and go back and forth. Didn't really work out, so that's why I settled on the Miltank. Let me know how you guys would play this, what kind of versions you would play to make this deck a little bit more consistent, a little bit fun. If you liked the video, then hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and then ring that bell to be notified for next week's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys later.